Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 3. And today I'm going to be giving you part 14 of What If Naruto Awakened the Rinne-Tenseigan. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform, and also go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto was personally trained by Kurama after leaving the village over on Anime King and Enjoy. Yes, I have 3 channels. And I post a new episode over on Anime King 2 of What If Naruto had the rarest bloodline. So go ahead, check out that and enjoy as well, guys. And remember, if you're new, to go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be talking about to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say begin this new episode? Start the intro. So, the last spot we left off, as Void came to visit Naruto. But Naruto started to cough violently as he started to puke up black blood. As Void came in and asked him if he was alright, as he scanned Naruto with his eyes, as he could tell that his sickness was getting worse. Yes, Naruto had a rather nasty sickness that he contracted. But Naruto told him that he was fine and everything will be fine. But Void didn't really believe that as he saw how Naruto was acting, as he could tell that Naruto was getting weaker and weaker. But Naruto told him to just continue on with the plan, as Void was speaking about the woman that he has been meeting with, the blue hair woman, as he told Naruto that he would tell her to hurry up, but Naruto told him to calm down. If she hurries, she might make some mistakes. He will live. He told him not to worry about him, but Void was concerned about Naruto's well-being, as Naruto told him that he would be fine. Just continue on doing what he was doing. The next morning, Naruto had a little chat with Snazzy, as he made her quite conflicted to the things that he said when he spoke about, well, her life now. And if she keep on drinking like this, and what with Dan and what he think of her, if she was given the opportunity to live on through their dreams, and she just tossed away like that. Yes, those thoughts made her quite conflicted about the matter. The time then passed, as Snazzy had went to Orochimaru to kill him herself. But Kabuto was able to use her fear against her hemophobia. But Void came there and stopped him from doing anything, as Jiraiya and the group came there as well. Orochimaru summoned Manda, as Void summoned one of the dragons from the Dragon Land, as the dragon knew him as well, despite him not being the one to sign the contract. After all, this was happening because of Naruto, as he told him just not to give away Naruto's identity, act like he doesn't know him, to make sure that Snazzy take the position, as Naruto decided to be the Shimmering Knight as he ended up getting stabbed by Orochimaru. Snazzy snapped out of her trance by that, as Naruto told her that he couldn't let her die. After all, she was a new face of the village, as he started to bleed out. Snazzy quickly went to his aid as she started to heal him. The blood on her hands, but she wasn't so bothered by it anymore, as she just wanted to make sure that he did not die. She was able to heal him as Void watched the entire thing. Void then turned towards Orochimaru before he fled, as he told him that he will be coming and he will kill him no matter what. So with that out of the way, Void vanished. Meanwhile, a couple of sound ninjas were discarding of some bodies, some of the recent field experiments. If they had looked closely, they would have noticed that one of the bodies were Gurren. But the strange thing was, Gurren was back at the lab and doing normal paperwork. So who exactly was that? And who exactly was at the lab? Void then came to visit Naruto once Snazzy came back to the village, as Naruto told him that tomorrow, everything will begin. Footsteps clatter on the tile, as Kabuto made his way towards his lord. As he entered the room, Orochimaru was currently sitting on a bed, as the time was close, very very close, as he wanted to get out of here. He wanted to leave this location. Where are they? Orochimaru asks. I'm sorry, my lord. said Kabuto, but no one has seen them since yesterday. Orochimaru snarled in annoyance. Once they return, they will be severely punished, he said. Kabuto had no idea where the hell the Zone 4 went. They just upped and disappeared, as he had no idea where they went. They must have known that they would have gotten a lot of trouble for going off without Orochimaru-sama orders. They were surely going to pay for that. As he looked back towards his master for information. Get the things packing. We'll be leaving by the end of the day, said Orochimaru. As Kabuto knew why they were leaving, Void and make a direct threat, and Orochimaru wasn't going to chance it. He was not going to chance it one bit as he was leaving. Going somewhere private or not even, Void could find him. Well, if that was even possible. Time skip at Konoha, as the Zone 4 had snuck into the village. With everything going on in the village still in reconstruction, they were able to snuck in, as they were currently hiding at the moment. Alright, all of you, said Seikon. Remember what Lord Orochimaru said. The Uchiha will not come willingly, so we will have to force him to come. We cannot draw too much attention, because it will make too much noise. It was currently night time, as Seikon looked at the four of them. So, no hassling, no draw, no move. We're going in for the knockout, to take him back towards the hidden zone. We cannot take on the entire village of Konoha, so we have to get out of here as soon as possible. Understood? The rest of them nodded. They might all be, well, rash and outspoken Teiwaya mostly, but Seikon was the leader of this group. So with that, they made their way towards Sasuke, known location, as Orochimaru had even told them where Sasuke lived within the village. At that very moment, as Naruto was currently with Sasuke. So what now, Sasuke asks. Regarding my training, he said, as Naruto just dropped by, saying that he wanted to talk about their training. Sasuke had no idea what he exactly wanted, or what they would do to improve their training, but he wanted to know. Well, for that, remember what I told you about this village, Sasuke? That again. Are you sure you're up to becoming a missing name, Sasuke said. After all, it wouldn't be so simple. Yes, I know, said Naruto. But it was never an option. Naruto was gone as Sasuke looked around confused, as everything went black. As Naruto caught him and gently set him down on the bed, as he had knocked out Sasuke cold. He then left like he wasn't even there. As he quickly left the apartment, he jumped on a rooftop nearby as he watched the four shadows retreating into the apartment. Seikon was surprised. This was easier than they expected. Alright. No sudden movements to wake the Uchiha. Quick, like I said. Drobo, stay outside and watch. The rest of you, with me. Seikon made his way inside as the others came in behind him. The window was surprisingly open. If he didn't know better, he thought this might have been a trap, but it didn't seem that way. As they enter, Sasuke didn't make no movements of waking up. As Teiwaya looked at him, he's out cold. It seems like he's been knocked out, not sleeping. It seems like Kami is shining on us today. Alright, let's get the hell out of here, he said, as he picked up Sasuke. As they brought him as Drobo took Sasuke as they started to leave the village. Meanwhile, Sakura was currently going home, as she just went to grab some ice cream with Ino, and they were talking for so long they didn't even realize that the time was so late. The both of them were separated by now, as she was the only one on the street. She then saw Sasuke ahead of her. Wanting to catch up, she rushed forward. Sasuke, she said, only to turn the corner and see that he was gone. She was confused as she saw him once again. Sasuke? As she followed behind him to see that he was gone once again. As a path led her towards an intersection where she saw four ninjas hopping the unconscious Sasuke. Sasuke-gun, she cried out. Teiwaya turned towards the girl, all hand-licked, as she quickly pulled out her flute. She started to play a sweet melody. Sakura felt her eyes going days and days, until she fell as she collapsed unconscious. Teiwaya quickly made her way behind the group as they continued on leaving the village. On top of the roof, watching everything was Naruto. After all, there was a reason why Sakura kept on seeing Sasuke. And with that, he fled. The Zone 4 quickly made their way in the night, placing Sasuke under a sedative so that he would stay unconscious as he made their way back to Lord Orochimaru, who gave them this order. He would surely be pleased for them to carry this out so quickly. It seems like everything worked out in their favor, and by the time someone found that pink-haired girl and she woke up, they would be long gone. Surprisingly though, the next morning, Sakura woke up rather quickly. The moment she was found by the guards, Katetsu and Aizumo, as they were heading towards the gate to shift duties to the other guards. She was instantly in the office to talk to Lady Snatty about what happened. At the moment, as white Zetsus were currently taking some of Naruto's belongings, as they were going underground with them, the secret compartment with the boxes inside, and all the chests, as they were taking them away and bringing them underground, as they literally put their body material over it to carry it away. Naruto heard a knocking on his door, as he walked towards its door. As the knocking came again, he stopped, didn't answer it. As the knocking came again, this time he opened the door. What the hell's going on, he said. As he looked towards Shikamaru, who was standing there. We need your help. Sasuke has been taking his head. Moments later, Shikamaru, Naruto, Choji, and Neji, and Kiba. This is the only manpower can gather at the moment. Shikamaru, you will be in charge of this group, said Snatty. Shikamaru sighed, but he nodded. Sasuke Uchiha has been taken from the village last night, from what I got from Sakura report. You are to find and bring him back. I will try my best to get reinforcements for you guys. Do your best, she said. As she looked towards Naruto, they were stopped at the gate by Sakura. As she came towards Naruto, she was crying. Naruto, I know you and I never really get along that much, but please, bring him back. I just want everything back the way it was, when we were a team despite us not being that fully functional. Just please bring him back. Please, she begged him. As he looked at her, don't worry, he said. I promise, I'll bring him back. She nodded. Thank you, she said. Alright, let's get going, said Shikamaru. We don't have time to waste. As all of them came up. Kiba, yeah, I sent Sasuke sent heading off in this direction. Let's get a move on. With that, the group quickly dashed to the trees, as Sakura placed her hand on her heart, praying to any deity, any supreme god that might hear her plea, to make sure that the both of them came back alive and okay, and whoever took Sasuke didn't get away with him. She was praying that they came back. The group moved through the bushes quick and fast, as Neji activated his Byakugan every now and then to keep an eye on the enemy group. As they were able to find them once they got a good distance. They are still here, said Neji. They have him. He's unconscious. So these bastards really think they could kidnap one of our own and just leave the village like that. Let's kick their ass, said Kiba. Don't be rash, Kiba, said Shikamaru. We know nothing of their strength and what they're capable of. Still, they're gonna pay. Stop, said Neji. As he looked at the ground, Kiba paused. As Kiba wasn't able to pause quick enough, luckily Shikamaru used his shadow, as Kiba was frozen mid-step. The wire was really obvious, but because he was talking, he didn't notice it. But that was not the thing. Look there, said Naruto. Yes, there was another wire hidden right beneath that one. So the moment you step over that one, they were in a rush, but they still plan accordingly, said Shikamaru. Neji, how far have they gotten? They're just a couple meters ahead of us. It seems they had to rest during the night. They probably thought no one would be tracking them. That was rather stupid of them. Sakura saw them after all, said Kiba. Well then, we just need to take back Sasuke. If we can avoid the fight in this, then we must do that, said Shikamaru. What? We're not gonna kick those guys' asses? Are you deaf, Kiba? We don't know what these guys are capable of. If it comes down to it, we'll have to fight. But if we don't have to, we don't have to fight. You got that? Kiba grumbled something, but he nodded. Alright, fine, he said. So what's the plan? Meanwhile, the Stone 4 is currently resting up. We should get moving. Well, said Kidomaru. As he turned towards Seigan, it seems like a little fly has fallen into my trap. He spewed something out of his mouth, a strange gook, as several people leaped out of the shadows, moved from behind the tree limb. They quickly landed, one of them going into a spin. The others quickly jumped away. Fang over fang, said Kiba, as he attacked Drobo. Drobo quickly leaped off the branch as Kiba tore through the tree, destroying it. Hey, Seikan! Jobo threw Sasuke as Seikan caught him. But he didn't use his arms. He had other arms behind his back. What the hell? Said Kiba as he straightened himself back up with Orochimaru. You little punks thought it would be that easy, huh? Jobo took up a rather large stone as the man chucked it towards him, forcing off them to leap away. As they landed in one formation, instantly the man went to handstand and slammed his hand down. A massive dome erupted around them as they were trapped. You guys go on. I'll finish off these brats and catch up. Don't keep us waiting, Fatso, said Jiraiya. I told you, language, he said. Shut it, Fatso. With that they kept on with their journey, moving. Damn it, we got caught, Kiba said. Hold on guys, I'll blast this thing open. Fang over fang! As he grind into the wall. But to his surprise he didn't break through it. And the thing even repaired. Huh. No matter what you do, you guys can't leave this dome. I won't allow you. The voice came from outside. Byakugan, as Neji glanced around. It's siphoning off our chakra. Damn it, Shikamaru said. I thought so. Choji looked around. What do we do, he asked. Brute force, said Naruto. Why don't we all hit that era one time? That should be enough brute force to get out of here. Now you're thinking, said Kiba as he smirked. Always the one for brute force. Choji ripped open a bag of chips. As he simply inhaled the food, its arm got large. Kiba smirked as Neji went into his stance. As Naruto held out his hand, Shikamaru looked at him. New technique? Yeah, said Naruto. As a Rasengan formed into his palm. Alright. Ready? Set. Move, Shikamaru said. As all of them moved forward, they slammed their attack into it. But the attack started to get absorbed. Neji was confused and suddenly, he felt the wall, chakra barrier, diminish. The thing then broke down. When they looked back outside, Jobo was just getting off the ground. What the hell was that? He said. Huh, I guess you couldn't stand up to the might of all of us, said Kiba. Well, it doesn't matter, said Jobo. It's not like any of you are going anywhere. You guys, go ahead. I'll handle this. Wait, what? As Choji gave them a thumbs up. Go rescue Sasuke. I'll take care of this guy, he said. Alright. I didn't want to split up, but this is the best course of action. Make sure you catch up with us. Of course, said Choji, as he gave him a smile. You really think I'm gonna let you go? Jobo was cut off as he was tackled by Choji. Go, said Choji, and the group quickly sped up. As the sound team was quickly moving once again. Hey, someone's coming. Hey, what's the rush? Said Jobo. I told you I could handle those brats back there. You took long enough, said Teiwaya. I thought you'd have got it done earlier, Fatso. Well, they were stronger than I thought. An arrow was suddenly fired towards Jobo as he moved, as it embedded into a tree. You can drop the disguise. We know you're not Jobo. How did you know? As Shikamaru came out of his transformation. Well, for one thing, whoever you are, the Fatso would always tell me about language. Yeah, and we knew that verbal tick from him, said Kitamaro. Well then guys, I guess this one is mine. Since Jobo wasn't able to do it, well it seems like he took on one because they're smaller in number now. I'll take on the rest of them. Why don't you guys get out of here? I'll catch up soon enough. Seikan nodded as the two of them sped off with Sasuke. Seikan hold on to Sasuke. Seikan fire web out of his mouth as the entire group moved away. Neji saw the chakra thinning as he strike, tearing the web in half. He looked at Seikan and Seikan smirked. Ah, Byakugan, I know about you and your clan. I've been looking forward to test my strength against one of you, Byakugan users. I heard that you guys are supposed to be quite strong. You guys go ahead. I'll take this one. Are you sure about that, Neji? Said Kiba. One of us can stay behind and no. I'll be fine, said Neji. As Shikamaru looked at him, Neji nodded. Alright then. Let's go. The group tried to pass Kitamaro. Where the hell do you think you're? 8 trigrams. Ear palm. As he had to move as the tree in front of him was blown to pieces, allowing the group to pass. Your opponent is me. Well, I guess Seikan can handle the others. Alright, Hyuga. You want to fight? I'll give you a fight, he said as he smirked wickedly. As Neji dropped into his stance. Back with the group, You're not getting away, Kiba shouted. Shikamaru glanced towards Naruto, as he thought that Naruto would be more upset about this. But despite that, the blonde seemed rather calm. Well, he couldn't really tell because of the thing over his eyes, as Shikamaru didn't know why he started to hide his eyes all of a sudden. After all, when they were in the academy, Naruto was completely different from how he used to be. He was a goofball, always giving jokes, always goofing around, but now he was just serious and completely different. As he's been paying attention quite well, it's almost like he's a completely different person. Hey, they've stopped. Huh, seems you managed to get past Kidomaru. Tell you what, take the Uchiha. I'll kill the three of these brats right here and right now. Are you sure that you can Are you questioning me, he said. I said take the Uchiha and go. Lord Orochimaru would be rather disappointed if we fail our mission. Go! She nodded as she quickly fled off. Seigan cracked his neck. Alright, neither of you are getting past me. Alright guys, we'll have to break up in formations to go after that girl there. I'll go after her, said Naruto. You two stay behind and fight this guy. After all, he seems rather strong. He's the leader of the group, said Naruto. Are you sure you won't need backup? Said Kiba. Nah, I'll be fine, said Naruto. Kiba didn't question him on that. After all, he saw Naruto fight in the finals of the exam, and Naruto's gotten a lot stronger from what he could see. So he was gonna question Naruto's strength. Alright then. So we just have to let you get past this guy. You guys just handle him. I'll be fine, said Naruto. As Naruto shot off the branch, surprising them by his speed, Seigan smirked as he moved forward to intercept Naruto, only for his entire body to fail him. He didn't know why, but he felt like if he moved a single muscle, he was gonna die. Dread, fear set over him. It was like a Shinigami had reached into his chest and grabbed onto his soul, preventing him from moving, as the man felt nothing but utter, agonizing death. His hands were shaking. Cold sweat burst on his forehead. Ukon was feeling the same thing on his back. Utter fear, as he did not move a single muscle, as Naruto simply passed by him. What the hell? As Kiba smirked, it seems that this guy is sick or something. He will use that to his advantage. Come on, boy. Fang over fang! Seigan snapped out of his trance as he moved away, Kiba tearing the tree down. Shikamaru stood there confused. Why did he just let Naruto pass like that? It seems like he was afraid. Judging from the cold sweat that was on his face right now, yes, he was definitely afraid. But why? At least put up a fighter or something. After all, that is what most people do. But no, he let Naruto pass him by easily. He was that afraid of Naruto. But what, Shikamaru thought to himself. Meanwhile, Teiwai was quickly making her way until she felt it coming. She came to a stop. You're fast, she said, as she looked at Naruto. That I am, he said. Hand over the Uchiha, he told her. And what if I don't? I'll punish you, he said to her. Oh, really? And how exactly you're gonna punish me? Naruto Kanshi asked. Oh, trust me. You don't want to know, he said. Oh, but really? I do, she said. Well then, we'll discuss that later. Now, he should be here at any moment. Well, I'm never late, said a voice, as Void walked out in the clearing. Teiwai walked over, she handed the body of Sasuke over to him. So what about me, she asked. Wait at the spot, said Naruto. She nodded. Go now, he said, as she rushed off. Well, it seems like everything is going according to the plan, said Void. Yes, it seems that way. I want to make sure the others die though. After all, they're not involved in this, and they're too loyal to Orochimaru. Well, that girl's a special case, isn't she? Yes, said Naruto. Alright then. Void walked over as he placed Sasuke down. Shall we? Naruto smirked as he dropped into his stance. Let us, he said, as the both of them rushed forward. Time passed, as all over the battlefield, the battles were clashing. Choji had managed to overpower Jirobo by taking the 3 food pills, but he was left in a rather nasty, position, almost on the brink of death. Neji was no better, as he was exhausted chakra-wise, to the point of almost dying, taking out Kidomaru. But Kiba and Shikamaru stood no chance. Shikamaru might be smart, but when it comes to brute strength, he, wasn't that strong. He was able to capture Ukon, but Seigan separated from him and broke that momentum. And after they realized that was the main thing, the both of them made sure to avoid any attacks to be captured by a shadow. Kiba was slumped up against a tree. Orochimaru was out unconscious as Kiba ripped himself out. As Ukon launched towards him, only for a strong gust of wind to slam into him as he slammed into the ground. Seikon got grabbed by a puppet as he was slammed into the tree trunk. As two members landed, both of them from the hidden sand. "What are you guys doing here?" said Shikamaru. "Order from your Hokage to back you guys up," said Temari with a smirk. Meanwhile, as Gaara floated down, "Uzumaki," he said, as he looked down at Naruto, who was in a bad condition. His lip was swollen, nasty gash and cuts were all over his body, as he was beaten severely badly. He was now weak in condition, as Void was standing there, his sight drenching with blood. "Ah, another one." As Naruto looked at Void before shaking his head. "Gaara, what are you doing here?" he asks. "Your Hokage asked us to back you up, to help you." Well, as Naruto looked towards him, before raising the patch over his eye, Gaara looked at him confused before Gaara stood still, unmoving. "Hey, take care of that, will you?" Void vanished as he appeared and knocked Gaara in the back of the neck. As he fell, but Void caught him at the back of his shirt as he lowered him to the ground. "Alright, that should be enough. Take him and get the hell out of here." Void nodded as he took Sasuke. "You sure you're alright?" "Come on. I've been through worse and you know that." "I guess you're right. I'll be waiting." "Yeah, you know what to do." And with that, Void left. As Naruto walked over, as he simply slumped down and lay there. A retrieval team was quickly sent out after the group, as Kakashi had made his way back to the village. Kakashi arrived towards the scene to see Gaara, lying there unconscious. He rushed towards Naruto quickly, as Naruto was beaten badly and bloodied. He picked up Naruto cautiously, as 3 other members from the recovered team came as well. As they hoisted up Gaara, they quickly fled back towards the village. Sakura was at the gate. Snady was at the gate as well. She had a bad feeling. A really bad feeling. As she felt like she needed to be here. To make sure if anything was too critical, she could help on the spot. Shizune was with her as well. Jiraiya had came back to the village. As he just recently arrived, he wanted to talk to Snady about helping Naruto for 3 years on a training trip, so he can be better ready for the Akatsuki and anything, and this Void person especially, who seemed to have a real interest in him. Sakura saw the members of the Retrieval team coming back, each of them in a bad state. Snady quickly gave out orders as they were taken towards the office. Snady saw the poor girl shaking in fear, thinking about what might happen, as she placed a hand on her shoulder. "If that kid is one thing, he's stubborn. And he won't give up," said Snady as she gave Sakura a smile. "After all, he wouldn't give up on convincing me to come back. So I bet everything is alright," she said. Sakura nodded, hoping that Snady-sama was right. It was then that Jiraiya saw Kakashi coming back. He was just about to head out to see if everything was indeed alright, as Kakashi was carrying a bloody Naruto. Snady and Jiraiya waste no time as he moved forward. Sakura realized that Sasuke wasn't there, as her heart sank. The moment she looked back up, she saw the 2 Sannin stop. Something was thrown as it slammed into the gates. She turned her head to see that it was Kakashi-sensei? Kakashi groaned as he got up to his feet. "Let go of him," said Snady. "He needs medical help." "And that is my concern, how?" said Void as he looked towards her. "If you don't let go of him, he's gonna die." "Why should I care?" said Void as he looked at the unconscious Naruto in his arms. "You were rather interested in him. I know you're just gonna let him die," said Jiraiya, as he sank his feet in the ground, as he prepared himself to move. Snady clenched her fists. "I suggest the both of you calm yourself. One wrong move, and he's history. Please, don't hurt him," said Sakura. Just give him back. He needs a heal," she said. "Sorry, little girl, but that's not my problem." "He needs help or he might die," she said, as she saw that Naruto was in a bad condition. "You're not even asking about your precious Sasuke gun. What did you do to him?" "Well, I was the one that took him after all. I was the one that put Naruto in this state. The kid just wouldn't give up. After all the constant beating I did to him, he just wouldn't go down no matter what I did. He just kept on going, and going, and going. I had to literally knock the crap out of him, and take Sasuke. What have you done with him, Sakura? She clenched her fists. That is none of your concern. Tell me! She shouted to him. It seems your bark is worse than your bite. If I didn't know how useless you were, I might actually be afraid. Who am I kidding? Snapping at her eyes, thinking about the speed to reach him before he could do anything stupid. Kakashi got back to his feet. Kakashi, I see you're back up. Why are you doing this? He's in serious danger. He needs medical help. As I said, that doesn't concern me at the moment. Because it's finally time I do what I planned to do from the beginning. As Void raised his hand as a sight appeared in his hand, Jiraiya shot forward as Void released Naruto. But Jiraiya wasn't fast enough. Naruto's eyes widened as the thing ripped through his back and teared through his chest. Jiraiya paused. The whole world went completely still. The two gate guards had left their booth. As everyone just stared on in complete shock, as they couldn't believe what they were seeing. Snavi couldn't believe what she was seeing. As she stood there, her eyes instantly went towards the necklace that was around Naruto's neck that she had given him on the way back here. The cursed necklace that was once again was gonna take someone away from her. Her arms shake. As she saw where the sight went, she was quite advanced when it comes to human anatomy, as it went directly through his heart. As blood burst out of Naruto's mouth, Sakura instantly collapsed as she started to cry. Naruto, she cried out, but his body slumped down in a heap. Void ripped out the sight. Much better. Instantly, Jiraiya was upon him as Kakashi was upon him as well. Both Chidori and Rasengan launching forward, but Void was gone. As, judging from that he was in the middle and both of them were coming from side to side, their attacks end up slamming together. The amount of chakra they put into it, it exploded out, blowing them away. As Naruto's lifeless body dropped down to the ground, Snavi rushed over as fast as possible. She didn't know if she can, but she probably might be able to do something. As she tried to test for a pulse, but there was nothing. Come on, brat. You can't die on me, she said, as she started to pump his chest, hoping for something to happen. Shizune was crying as she couldn't believe it. Snavi received a hard kick in the face as she was launched back, knocking her away. He's already dead, what's the point? Said Void. Jiraiya picked himself up as the man's eyes were bleeding with nothing but rage and contempt. The man went through hand sign quickly as Void jumped back. Fire style, indent. The man blew out a hot stream of flame that engulfed the entire walkway, burning everything to a crisp. But Void simply stood there as Kakashi watched, as he couldn't even look at Naruto for the moment, as he failed to protect Minato's son. He failed. He couldn't even look at him. But all of them watched as Void simply absorbed the technique, as it simply absorbed into his palm like it was nothing. Is that the best you got? Jiraiya launched himself forward. As Void moved back, Jiraiya crashed into the ground, as the ground was rooted up. Snavi picked herself up as she moved back towards Naruto's side, caring about the fighting going on around her. She pumped his chest once again, but there was nothing. As the blood was seeping through her finger, he was gone. There was nothing left. Sakura couldn't believe what she was seeing. As Sasuke was gone, this guy took him, and he killed Naruto. Was he gonna kill Sasuke as well? That was if he haven't already. She started to hyperventilate as she couldn't breathe. As she looked around, as she saw blurs flashing towards the sections. They were all surrounded by Anvus, who saw their Hokage in danger. Void quickly vanished as he appeared right beside Naruto as he looked down towards Snavi. He raised his arm as Anvus came forward. Boom! A ricochet of energy exploded from his body. It was like an unseen force as it slammed into every man, woman, and child, launching them backward with that terrible force as they all crashed away. They were blown as they slammed into the gates, slamming into the walls. Sakura was grabbed by Shizune. That was the only reason why her head didn't connect hard with the ground. As Shizune dropped hard on her back, but luckily she saved Sakura from hitting her head that hard. Void stood on Naruto's chest, 1 feet. He's dead. And it's over, he says. He reached on and grabbed Naruto by the throat. You've already seen that for yourself. But I'll be taking his body. Jiraiya picked himself up. No! It's not like there's anything you can do about it. Perhaps if you weren't such a worthless godfather, you would have been able to stop this. And you, Kakashi. I thought you would have looked after Minato's son, but yet you let this happen. What a disappointment. With that, Void vanished with Naruto. As everyone stood there. That really happened. And Naruto was gone. Sakura couldn't even make any more noise, as she just sat there and cried. Unable to do anything but cry. Time skip. Sasuke groaned, as he don't know what the hell is going on. His head feel cloudy, like he was sedated for a very long time. He felt like he was on something rough. This was not his mattress, so where the hell was he? He glanced around towards the stone ceiling. What the hell was going on? Ah, you're awake. As someone walked in the room, as they had something in their arm as they threw it. Sasuke caught it out of reflex. It was a bottle of water. Sasuke looked up towards the person masked. You, Void. Ah, me, Void, said Void. What the hell's going on? Well, we took you from the village. We? Yes, we. Yes, right after I killed Naruto. You what? You heard me. I killed Naruto. Sasuke tossed the water bottle as Void moved his head as it slammed against a wall. Footsteps could be heard as Sasuke turned his head to see Naruto walking inside. I told you not to do anything stupid. Come on, I'm just messing with him. Naruto, what the hell is going on? What did he say to you? He said that he killed you. And are you working with this guy? All will be explained in due time, Sasuke. But just know, to the hidden leaf, I'm dead. And you're missing at the moment. So we have nothing to worry about. I told you already, Sasuke. Which do you prefer? To stay at the village and stay the same level you are, or to get stronger without? Sasuke looked at Naruto. I know exactly is that gonna happen. How are we gonna get more training without a Jonin sensei? As Naruto looked at Sasuke before smirking, the entire room started to shake as an aura produced from Naruto's body shook the room as Sasuke felt utter fear. It was like the entire weight of the room was pressing down on him. As he could barely breathe, he realized that he could not breathe exactly. As he started to try to take in air, but he could not breathe. As Naruto released it, Sasuke was on his knees panting. What the hell was that? Well, you were worried about training, so I decided to show you that you have nothing to worry about. How are you? That's wrong, Sasuke asks. In due time you will know. Sasuke looked at Naruto and wondered if this was really going on, but it seems like it was. Who the hell is he? Sasuke asks, as it has always been plaguing his mind. Well, I suppose. Why don't you tell him? Are you sure we can trust him? Said Void. Of course. Sasuke wouldn't betray us. Right, Sasuke? Why the hell would I do that? You promised me strength. You see? Alright, fine then. Void reached up as he clicked his mask off. As he put it down, Sasuke was confused who this was. He was really confused what was going on, because he didn't know this guy. As Void, white hair could be seen at the side of his face now that the mask was removed. But Sasuke was confused. I'm guessing you're not familiar with his face, are you? Well, said Void as he looked at Naruto. Yes, said Naruto. Sasuke. Think about it. Don't you know who this is? Sasuke looked at him closely. As Naruto stepped forward, Sasuke narrowed his eyes. He really didn't know who this was. So he didn't know what the words died in his throat. No, it can't be. But how was this possible? Just what in the hell was going on, Sasuke said. As Naruto simply smirked. Time skip. Tsunade was sitting at her desk. As, despite everything, she had to go into surgery. For the others, they were on death door, especially Choji and Neji. But that was not the thing. Her mind was cloudy. She could barely think. She could barely breathe. She didn't know where Jiraiya went off to or Kakashi. He just went off to somewhere. She had to make sure that Sakura was okay, as she sensed she's only to check on the girl. She knew people in these situations would most likely take their life. Seeing that they lost too much, they gave up sometimes. And she didn't want Sakura to end up killing herself. So she had to ask Shizune to check on her. Tsunade didn't know what to do right now, as she couldn't believe that the blonde was really dead. As she remembered him jumping in the way to save her life from that blade, holding on to it as it cut into his skin of his arms, making sure it didn't drive right through her. And yet she just watched him die. All because of that bastard. Tsunade didn't even know if she wanted to stay being a Hokage anymore. As that cursed necklace, at least it was finally gone. At least she didn't have it anymore. She gave it to him. Why did she have to give it to him? Why did she have to believe that he would be the one to break the curse, as he was taken away from her, like the others? She didn't even know if she wanted to go on being Hokage. But the words ran through her mind that he said to her. The people that she cared about wanted to do the job. And if she just gave up on it like that, how would they feel about it? But she couldn't understand that this was reality. That this all had just happened in front of her. She opened the bottle of sake as she just started drink. As she drank herself into a stupor. Getting drunk was better than feeling pain. As she clenched her fist tight, so tight the bottle exploded in her hand. She would make sure to put the biggest bounty on that bastard Void. She wanted him alive, as she wanted to kill him herself. Meanwhile, Sakura's parents were outside of her bedroom door. The both of them, giving her space to, cry, because whenever they tried to go in, she shouted at them and she wanted to be alone. They couldn't comfort her at the moment. She just wanted to be alone. Non-stop crying since she came back. They were told what happened. They could not understand on a personal level, but they saw that their daughter was hurting, as she was getting along well with her team. Well, everything was going well because she came home happy most days. But now for the two of them to be taken away from her, it must really hurt. Yes, a lot. As she has been crying non-stop. It has been a long while now. The both of them wish they could just go in there and hug her, but she locked the door, as she didn't want to hear from them right now. She was angry at the world. She was angry at everything as Sakura was on her bed. Her eyes are wide open as tears are leaking from the corner of her eyes. She didn't know what to do. She felt like her whole world was turned upside down in just a couple of hours. Everything had went back to normal. Naruto was back. So was Sasuke. They had a new Hokage, a female Hokage nonetheless. Someone that everyone could reach look up to for her strength, for her leadership. And then all of this had to happen. The both of them had to be taken away from her in one day. Despite her relationship with Naruto not being perfect, they were not on bad terms. And he still protected her and looked out for them on missions. But now they were just gone. Her mind rushed on Kakashi Sensei, as she didn't even know how he was taking this. He just went off after everything happened. As Sakura just kept on crying, as it was just automatic at this moment. She really didn't know what to do. Everything was just messed up. The both of them were gone from her. She didn't know what happened to Sasuke, and she watched Naruto die in front of her. She turned back over into her pillow as she started to cry some more, as no tears are coming out. Seems like she was all dried up out of tears. She just didn't know what to do as she buried her face in her pillow. At the top of the monument, Jiraiya, white hair rustling in the breeze. The man's face was stern as he just glanced down towards the village. First, the elder toad sage, and now Naruto. Ever since his void person appeared, ever since the great toad told him that he would bring nothing but death and destruction, everything was coming out true. Jiraiya couldn't believe it, as he just watched his godson die in front of him like that. He barely got time to know the kid. Once he had met Naruto again, he promised himself that he would make up for lost times, to make sure the kid was always okay, to protect him no matter what. And yet, he just watched him die. Watch him literally get taken away from him. And he was unable to do anything about it, because he was too weak, too slow to stop Void from ending his godson's life. His heart was filled with turmoil at the moment, as he just didn't know what to do, as he didn't see any point anymore. That was really distressing for someone like him, but he has been through so much. He has failed so much time. He failed to help Minato and Kushina. He wasn't here when Ninetales attacked. He failed to ever find love in his life. He was just nothing but a failure, always hyping himself up as a great Toad Sage, when in truth he was nothing but a great failure. As the man leaned back, the tears just wouldn't come, as he didn't know why he wasn't crying. His chest just felt empty and hollow at the moment, as he couldn't believe that kid was really gone. As the only bonding time they got was to go on that mission to find Snazzy, as he knew that she must be feeling terrible right now as well, as she put her hopes and trust in the kid, and yet to have all of that taken away. He knew it was going to be bad for Konoha, because her mind wouldn't be into it. Despite that, he was still a Konoha shinobi, and just like what happened with Minato, he will have to suffer to make sure that the village is in good hands. He will have to make sure that Snazzy kept the job, and just go out and continue to research his work, his spy network, to make sure the village was always safe, despite not feeling the heart to do so anymore. As he sighed. Meanwhile, Kakashi was standing at the memorial site as he looked down towards the name of his sensei and his wife, Minato Namikaze, Kushina Uzumaki. I feel, sensei. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but no 4 times. I failed to help Obito back then. I failed to protect Ren. I failed to keep you and your wife alive. And I failed to protect Naruto. I'm a failure in every way possible. As Kakashi dropped down to his knees, as the right side of his mask was soaked, tears running down his face, as he couldn't believe that Naruto was actually dead. He couldn't believe that he actually failed this badly. He still couldn't believe it. It all seemed like a hazy dream, but if he didn't see it with his own eyes, well, you couldn't change reality, no matter what you did. There was also something bubbling up in all these persons that were currently mourning Naruto's death, and that was rage towards Void. Utter, unbelievable rage. And the rest of the rookies hadn't heard yet, as the news hadn't spread too far yet that Naruto was dead. But soon enough many will know that he was gone. They didn't even have a body to bury. Meanwhile, you look even happier than I thought, said Kabuto. Well, to be a part of my master, to have him take over my body and use it as he will, that is the greatest honor to ever receive, said Gurren as she smiled. Yes, quite indeed, said Kabuto, as he knew that she would be completely gone once Orochimaru took her body. But it was necessary for his master to live on. After all, they were all pawns. Even he was a pawn in a way. He still had no idea where the Sound 4 went, or what the hell was going on with them. No report has come back yet. But you need to keep a keen eye out. But they should know once they return, if Orochimaru did not kill them, they would surely suffer for just taking up and leave like that. Well, they will suffer unimaginable suffering and pain. As Guren paused. What's wrong? Oh, nothing. As she kept on walking behind Kabuto. As she smiled, Kabuto glanced towards her at the corner eye. She was too happy. Well, she was obsessed with Orochimaru, and she really wanted the man to take her body. So he should expect that. Oh, and another thing, Kabuto. Kabuto couldn't get to finish that sentence as she grabbed him by his face. As she smashed his head through the wall, shattering his glasses. You don't know how long I want to do that, she said. As Kabuto was knocked out cold. She smiled. A loud booming thunder could be heard. Her smile increased. She looked down the hallway. They're coming for you, she said, with a wicked grin on her face. That smile was turned into a worried look. As she rushed down the hall with a frantic look on her face, hiding her true intent. But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want to see the next part of this, to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on the bell notifications they posted. Remember to share to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Had the Rarest Bloodline over an Anime King 2. And enjoy that, guys. And they also posted a brand new episode over an Anime King of What If Naruto was personally trained by Kurama after leaving the village. So go ahead and check out that and enjoy, guys. And remember, if you're new, to go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. But for now, I'm Mudfair. See you guys soon. Peace.